all those 2-0s, but this series has obviously gone down to the wire. We had the overtime on Dust 2, where VP were able to bring it back, win the pick of Mouse Sports, and then Mouse Sports, honestly, I mean, they really did kind of dominate. And then it took them a while, right? It ended up getting pretty close in the end on Mirage. But Mouse Sports obviously closed it out to get us here onto map 3. And now on this pistol round, Chris J storming outside so quickly on that T side. He will go down, though. Not out in the open, but some with a flash that kept Pasha behind the green train for a while. Can they get the bomb down? That would be massive here. Taz reloading that so we won't be able to spam down and try to bring down, and bomb goes. So it'll be rifles coming up in the third round, more than likely for Mouse Sports. We'll see what they do in round 2, but a beautiful hold outside. Only Pasha goes down, and he got a 2K.
Yeah, confident start from VP, but that is, as you mentioned, a huge victory in the sense that they got that bomb planted. Now, I'd assume they're going to wait until the third round to buy up AKs, but maybe God B has other ideas here, and they want to try... Well, that's it. I was about to say, do they want to try a Tech 9 rush and catch VP off guard? Because VP may have the same thought process that we did, that no problem, right? Because Mouse Sports are going to just save, it's going to be like a Glock train, and then that's it. We're going to win the round comfortably. This could definitely throw a spanner in the works. So VP need to make sure to get caught off. T-Connector seems to be where Mouse Sports are stacking at this point, with Dennis coming down Pop Dog, and he's rushing towards A site. The damage is all going the way of VP. Neo chimes in with the first kill. There's Dennis with 2, though. Back in retaliation. He's picked up an MP9 for himself on top of that. And the bomb is going down shortly. It actually isn't. He took the finger off the bomb, and that's allowing the CT to come back in again.
That Z connector, though, still smoked out. I got worried that Taz was just going to run out through it and stop the bomb. I didn't realize the smoke was there, and, well, Mouse Sports fall back. 1vXs are so hard on train. There are so many places to look. Taz trying to do his best. He will spray down and control it. Brings down Gob right there. Climbing up the ladder, too. So close. Accuracy didn't even matter. And he finds Dennis. And look at that. 1v1 right now. Spitty with only a P2 Fitty. A P2 Spitty, if you will. We'll see what he can do. He's won just on time alone. He won't find the kill, but there's no time here. Only got 1 second through the defuse, and boom. It's like the smallest ragdoll I've ever seen of a bomb.
Especially considering he stood on top of the bomb.
Yeah,
just like,
right on it.
I tripped. But to be fair, though, even though they didn't get that round, they did kill all the Mouse Sports players in the 1v3. So that in itself is not too shabby as far as VP are concerned, because it means that Mouse Sports have just gone for a full force, or a full buy, I should just say. And VP are therefore going to go for their force. So FAMAS, Scout, 3 pistols with upgraded armor. And this could be VP maybe resurrecting their CT side, because remember, this is CT favored. You'd expect the CTs to get at least 9, 10, maybe even 11 rounds, to be fair. So VP will have that in the back of their minds. This time it's a B push from the Ts.
The starts to the first half and the series between VP and Mouse Sports have just been insane. Go back and forth. And I will not be surprised at all if VP are able to fight back. Taz is in a great spot, playing behind. You know, you can't wallbang that at all, but if they get that entry right over top of it, as Gob did there onto Taz, next now going to bring down Snack. Neo trying to fight from the back there with that scout. He'll now fall. Bialy coming through that Z connector with that 5-7. No monkey business, though. Chris J shoots him down. 2 kills with that FAMAS, and Pasha with an equipment value of $1,450. He will be saving CZ Kevlar and a smoke for him. Looking for an exit, hopefully to maybe preserve an AK. At the very least, that FAMAS. But they exit the other way.
Brilliant round for Mouse, though. And this will put CTs all on the back burner. And it's going to be Pasha who's going to be able to save that CZ. Along with the Kevlar and the smoke. So, nice round for Mouse Sports. And they are starting this T-side very effectively, I've got to say. And this, again, comes down to the in-game leadership of God B. That call to force by Tech 9's rush was an inspired choice. If they just saved and gone for the AKs in the third round, they could very well be in a 2-1 deficit themselves, a 3-1 deficit maybe. So that was a massive call from him.
Yeah, it was. And even if they didn't win that, it was enough to get them the bomb down, which still could have been, you know, a very, very strong round 4, having planted twice, even with the force up in the second round. But we don't even need to go down that route, because that's not what happened. Mouse Sports have 2-1 into the 4th right now. Let's check out the frags. I'm actually just shocked to see that Nex doesn't have 10 frags already. He's only on 2 this time. Same with Chris J. And it's actually Gob He's been the man. He's got the mission objectives in mind, planting the bomb. One frag, but out there in front with the score. And he's got the bomb again. Funny how the game does that. Keeps giving it back to the guy that keeps planting it.
Again, Mousesports, though, really taking their time, as we've seen so many times already. Not just on Train, but Dust 2, Mirage, Overpass, all the maps that we've casted them on, Cobblestone. They like to keep the CTs guessing until the bitter end. Dennis on 1 HP, but Taz has been dropped. And Taz, with the 3 frags, that's going to be pretty hurtful for Virtus.Pro's chances of maybe clutching this round out. Next then chimes on. He's been the standout player. He's been so good today for Mousesports. And they'll need him to keep stepping up tall if they want to pick up this map. But there is a beautiful grenade from Godby. Lands on the face of Snacks. He drops. There's Dennis and Spiddy. And they only lost 1 player in retaliation. So Mousesports are quickly starting to make a case for their Train. They are looking very, very good.
Honestly, yeah. Their work is almost done for them. 5 rounds could be enough on the T side, so that would only mean, 2 rifles taking here. This will obviously be the first of the match coming in round 5 since the rocky start that we had. VP getting ecoed and then dropping 3 to Mousesports. 9-6, I think they'd feel more comfortable with. That's for Mousesports, of course. VP are probably already a little uncomfortable.
Hope that Virtus.Pro have something in their locker, because I don't want to speak for you, Helium, but I certainly was expecting VP to quite comfortably win this map. Again, it's the unknown factor about Mousesports. VP, we know, have played this map a lot in the past. They're a team that adapted to it very well, and adopted it. So, off that basis, VP should be in prime position, but Mousesports, the early confrontations really have gone their way. That being said, now Virtus.Pro with the full buy-up are going to be able to combat the AKs and the smokes, albeit not with many flashes. Or, in fact, they only have 1 flash on the side of VP with 2 defuse kits. Here comes the aggression onto B, but it's a fake. Dennis throws in the double flash, and they move back round to pop.
Biddy pops a flash into Ivy, so they should be kind of aware that now there is a pronged attack coming outside. Oh, the Christie all the way out to E-Box, and Gob just holding fast in ladder. He gets the ollies. He peeks out from behind that red train there. And what a flash, keeping those players at bay, coming over. Gob gonna get the bomb down 1 more time here. Pasha kind of had an angle to peek out and maybe stomp him. Neo will step up, bring down Chris J 4-on-4 right now, but Mousesports have got that bomb down again. And Pasha always looking into old hell, more or less, trying to bring down the player that was there. He gets caught in a crossfire. 2-on-2 right now. Neo with 3 kills. Spitty very, very low, but he'll get 1 more. He brings down Neo, and now it's up to just Taz. Has not found a kill on the round. He's in a 2v1. Again, the 1vx is very hard. He nearly brought one in earlier with that UMP. Time is running out. He will find 1 frag, and as he retreats out, the spray control. Players are not as good. Spray control in that FAMAS just because it doesn't get used so often, and my professional, I'm doing air quotes here, opinion on the FAMAS spray is he maybe pulled down a little too much. It's more lateral than up and down for that gun.
Well, the awkward thing is now that VP have lost that buy-up round that I was talking about. One of the first true tests of Mousesports T-side they have passed with pretty much ease. I mean, it did go down to the last couple of players, but still. And so Taz now trying to do something different, pushing aggressively, going for the information with the CZ. It's not a terrible idea. They haven't really gone for this thus far on the pistol. So Mouse, who typically do play a very slow round, this could potentially play into VP, because now they know for a fact that B is not going to be aggressed on. This allows them to stack more players towards A, although they are going to be running with 3 players still up towards the bathroom locker. So Mousesports, I mean, this is an incredibly slow round from them. They are not wanting to move a muscle.
Yeah, they've got, I mean, that first rifle round, to then drop one here just by being sloppy and maybe getting caught off guard, that would be devastating to them. And Dennis nearly gets 2. Brings, who was that? Snacks down to 12 HP there. He'll go up the train. Oh my gosh, if that was an HE from Dennis, actually, to that new window there, that probably would have been a kill. Or a Kobe, as I think it would be forced to say in that case. Biddy and Chris J moving out towards outside, getting all those openers here. The pistols don't stand a chance at these long ranges. The best shot VP had was in those white halls with that boost, but that did get shut down from the side. All 5 surviving, and it's Snacks who took that early damage. Just hiding here at the end of Z connector towards inside.
And these rounds are going very comfortably in the end to Mouz as well. They're not losing needless weapons. And on the flip side, you know, Virtus.Pro are not picking up frags as they were on the previous 2 maps in these ecos. By and large, they're going down with a whimper rather than a bang. Snacks is still yet to pick up a single frag thus far, which could prove to be pretty problematic for the Poles. And Mouz hold on to all 5 weapons once again. And you were saying before, like 5 rounds is probably doable. They've already picked up 5, and we're still very early on this half.
It's a big team effort this time too for Mousesports, which is pretty different than the way the first 2 maps broke down, especially the first. Like, if you just want to see ridiculous CS, watch the first map of the series if you missed it, and you'll know why we might call Mousesports Next J Sports from here on out, because Next and Chris J, my God. We made a Space Jam reference earlier about Michael Jordan's water bottle and saying Shroud needed it, but I think it was actually Chris J and Next that found it. They were not sharing.
Just swigged it all down. Pretty much downed it. And now, again, Mousesports, it doesn't make for the most entertaining CS when you have a team that's pretty much just holding on for the first minute of a round, but it does add to the atmosphere, and the tension is enough to really get you going in this game. I mean, at the end of the day, take stock of the situation. These guys are battling for their tournament life. The loser of this gets knocked out of Gfinity. It is that simple, and it's came down to this last map. So the fact that Mousesports' slow rounds have been paying out, there's no reason for them to change it.
Yeah, not at all. And another rifle round here. I think if Mousesports win round 7, VP will probably have a tactical timeout like immediately in the freeze time.
Yeah, they've typically called timeouts around 7-1, 6-1 scoreline.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make a lot of sense, just to try and rack their brains around what's going wrong. And again, here we go.
I think it was maybe 9-1 on Dust 2 when they called it, and they kind of didn't really see any changes at first, and then it ended up being an 11-4 half, so VP getting some at the end.
Again, though, this is the issue that Mousesports could find themselves in. They're pushing onto the site with 15 seconds, and they've lost the casualty, so they could be playing into the CT hands. 5 seconds, and that bomb has just been planted, so maybe it's A-OK, but they left that so close. Neo and Taz, the last 2 Polish men standing, and this is a very rough position for them to hold off against. There is Next with a headshot onto Connector. Taz falls down, and now it's on Neo, and he's got 8 HP, and he has that AWP. Does he even want to go for this? Maybe. No, he gets the 1 pick, and I think he's going to run away.
Time's getting low. And he will be got to get another. He'll bring down Spitty. Gob, though, sticking around. Actually try to cut him off here at Ivy. He's on the terrorist side. They've won a lot in a row, but Neo expecting it. Neo will find all the kills, but the bomb will still go off here. And I'm looking in that chat, looking for a dot pause to come out, but it doesn't. VP going to keep trying to truck along here. And Mousesports with 6 rounds now. Jokingly, chat already bracing for VP to come back in the second half.
Well, that's been the way it's gone so far, hasn't it? Like
I'm bracing for it as well.
Yeah, prepare yourselves. That being said, though, this is CT side of Train, so maybe the comeback is a bit less likely to happen on this one rather than last. But, well, if they can bring it back here in normal time. Neo with a lovely shot, but he gets mollied down from Chris J. Still, this is a good trade. Mousesports desperately wanted to avoid. God B now answering back, however. So maybe there is still life left in the 8th round for the Germans. And it's down to God B, the in-game leader, and he's been dropped from Pasha, who gets his double at the end. So VP finally get their 2nd round on the board. But they got to keep going forward because they just cancelled their round loss bonus.
Yeah, right? This is where it's really tight. It's like, yes, you need to win rounds, but now you've just made it so difficult on yourself. If you drop this one, it just becomes easier for Mousesports to get a couple more. And that's just the nature of CSGO. That's why we keep coming back to it. The punishing game. VP, what will they do? They've got 2 actually playing towards inner on that lower spot. Not pushing. They might want to think about it now. I mean, you've given up a pick. It's going to be hard to defend on this map 4v5. But no, they will not get aggressive towards the white halls. And Chris J just keeps picking them off outside. He's from that E-box now. And another one, they're going to peek out Z. He's kind of just spamming, trying to take some shots. Spitty and Next will just push that smoke between the trains. Ska B. I can only assume he has the bomb. He does, man, and he will go down. Taz takes him off the top of the green train. Dennis now coming down from that ladder, trying to work his way down Pop Dog. Pasha with his op at the back of Ivy. He's going to smoke out from that green train. Kind of blocks his own view a little bit. Taz brings down Spitty. Pasha, oh no, he misses that shot. And Nex was close, trying to spray him down. Taz finally silences Chris J, who just did quite a lot this round for Mousesports. Dennis moving through finds Taz, and now it's just Pasha in a 1v2. Dennis versus Nex. They don't have that bomb quite yet. Is right behind Nex. Doesn't want to quite peek into the open, and Dennis, will he have the game sense to check his flank? Maybe not expecting Pasha to have taken that long trek around through CT spawn, and oh, making noise. He will turn around just in time. Maybe heard the step, maybe just the Spidey senses tingling. 7-2.
Yeah, I think he heard Pasha running at him, right? At the end there, Pasha was walking, trying to pull off a Dennis who looked all the way around the back. And then with 3 or 4 steps to go, he decides to quick peek it. I think he was hoping he'd catch them both while the bomb was down, but in doing so, he pretty much just gave his life away. So I said, they've just reset the round loss bonus. Now they just don't have anything in terms of economy, so they have to eco. And Mousesports looking good for the 8-2 lead. So VP, who are my strong favourites coming into train, I mean, they're crumbling. It's really just Neo, who's head and shoulders above the rest of his team at this point, that is trying his best to carry them in this game.
Yeah, he's done exceptionally well. He can build like a Neo frag movie just off of this event, where VP like haven't even performed amazingly well. They've been involved in some very exciting games, but I think from what we would have expected from VP, maybe a bit lackluster overall. But he's just been on point. And same thing, honestly. Next, like the next J movie can come out tomorrow as well, because they've just had so many ridiculous rounds.
Oh man, those two, especially on Dust, were just ridiculous. I don't even know how you play against them. That being said, VP still won somehow, so there you go.
Yeah, right.
But Mousesports, it wasn't overtime, to be fair, so it was a very close map. Second map also went close, but let's keep it on with the present, as Virtus.Pro are bravely fighting in this round, where they pretty much just have pistols, then it executes Taz point blank range. Probably just got a mess all over himself there.
Yeah, that scared me. I gotta go away and change my pants real quick.
I think God, B and Dennis are probably feeling the after effects as well, because of all the blood that just flew all over their screens. But Neo now pushing in, he gets the frag, and do you know what? Pasha could pick this one up for point blank, but he misses it onto Dennis, and that may just be the round slipping away. If he lands that frag, I'd fancy Virtus.Pro to potentially have this, but the fact that Neo has no utility to play with, no defuse kit, he has to save that valuable AK. You can't just give that away. And Mousesports will indeed get their 8th round. But again, look at Neo. He's surviving. He's getting frags. Snacks is 1-7. This is a guy you need to stand tall from Virtus.Pro's perspective, and he has just not delivered in this game so far.
Good lord. Another nice shot there from Neo on the Dennis, unfortunately, just after the time. And yeah, it's nuts that Snacks is down there at 1-7. We saw him earlier. I can't even remember at this point what series it was even in, but he started pretty slow, and in the second half, he just exploded. So, I mean, maybe it is the case that he will just come up here big on that T side and, you know, have that comeback. Mousesports have already, I mean, numerically, they've got the half. They've won it. They've got 8 rounds. They could obviously get some more, but they can feel pretty content with that. But not going to want to rest. We have seen it. It's been tough for Mousesports to close it out. They're going to need, honestly, like 11 rounds from what we've seen, right? Like that seems like the minimum at this point. They need double digits. I'm just going to say that.
To make sure that VP go down, yeah. I would say that VP's chances of coming back on T side are probably less than a Mirage CT. But then again, you know, Mousesports, there is an unknown quality to them on train. Maybe their CT side is a bit lacking and is a bit shaky. And VP are the kind of squad that definitely could expose those weaknesses, as Pasha's trying to do just here with the AWP. They have 2 AWPs in play, Neo and Pasha. Snacks just with a 5-7, but that could be enough. Taz spots a couple players moving, bobbing heads there, coming through the door. And Snacks will open up with a 5-7. He gets shut down courtesy of Dennis, but that's good enough in terms of trades, and Virtus.Pro are just about able to claim their 3rd round on CT side. Probably not good enough, but maybe they can finish this half strong. There's Pasha, started the round, finishes it, and Virtus.Pro have their 3-8 scoreline.
3 ops. Looks like did they drop one, or maybe I'm just tired to the point where I'm hallucinating. They've actually Maybe they threw one over to Snacks? Okay, no, okay, there they are. They got 2 ops. I think they did have 3 going into the round. I don't know if they dropped it at the end of the last round or if it's just chilling in spawn. I'm actually going to check spawn right now. Looks like they dropped it at the end of the last round, I think. But it seems like the double op setup is what they needed to do to try to mix things up. They're warming him up. Neo's been on point with it for a while now, kind of the secondary opper of VP, but Pasha's got one as well and did well on the last round. And here they are, absolutely crushing Mouseports as they just push out with these pistols. And there it is, VP. 4 rounds right now. Can they catch up? Can they make it as close as a half as possible? Can they get to 7 rounds? An 8-7 half for VP would not be that bad. I've seen their T side. They do have a ton of set strategies. We haven't really seen anything other than, like, you know, go for a basic, like, pronged attack on a site, hit your entries, and the one round they threw some smokes in or and faked back towards outside. I mean, as far as the strat goes, it's not been too complex from them. They've just been hitting the shots. Example, Chris, J, finding that kill. The nade will clean them up. But I would be one to believe in the VPT side.
Me too. I think their T side could definitely be strong opponent, but God B, he is rocking it out with the Tech 9 on site. Got himself a frag. Probably he shouldn't have been able to do so. And that is 3 frags actually from Mousesports, and that got closer than they were hoping for, VP. And that was an eco round, I believe. So Mousesports now, with the buy-up, are able to bounce back again and try and put down some serious pain. And Neo also had to rebuy his AWP. So he's down to $100. So VP, yes, they're coming back, but this could still get ugly for them at half-time.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters what Neo has. The way he's been playing, if someone on VP doesn't drop Neo, the rifle, or the op, they're insane. And we saw that. I kind of questioned Cloud9 earlier about that, right? Like, a couple players that weren't doing nothing having rifles and you know, not dropping it to the players that were, you know, top fragging, you know, at that point. I've always kind of questioned that. A lot of players are not willing to just do that, like, full-on support role.
Yeah, there were some questionable decisions from Cloud9, that's for definite. And there have been some questionable decisions as well in this best of 3. There's been a lot of great plays, but there have been some mistakes as well. And it appears that in this round, Mousesports may be making the mistake of going A one too many times. They have consistently rushed this site through E-Box and through T-Connector, and maybe it's getting a bit predictable for the Poles, who only have 1 player on the B site, and that's Taz. And meanwhile, the rest of his team is doing the work, Bialy with 2. A beautiful hold from the CTs, from VP, and I think maybe Mousesports, because of their lack of inspiration when it comes to tactics, they're getting read very easily now from VP.
Yeah. But they got what they came for. They just exploded out of the gate with the raw aim and the entry fragging potential, and they got to the 8 rounds. And, I mean, it's not the easiest map, really, to develop those T-strats for. It's very new. You're going to learn all those smokes all over again. I mean, any professional team, you would expect to know them all. But even still, to just get your execution down, you know, if I'm smoking this, what are you watching so we don't get flanked? Like, for instance, throwing smokes out of the white halls on train, you run the risk of just getting pushed up from ladder, and you'll see it from time to time. I will not be surprised if we see Mouseports push up VP, because I know they utilize a lot of the set smokes from white halls. But it looks like we got another flawless round potential here for VP. Just Next and Speedy right now. Yes, it was just a... yeah, and there it is. It was a force-up, but it was the last round, and VP will close the gap. 8-7. This is the closest we've had today and a half between these two teams.
Yeah, that's such a weird statement to make, considering that we've had an overtime, we've had a 16-13 score, but that is a fact. That is true. We've had 11-4, I think, every time these two teams have played each other. So this is the closest. So let's now see if Mousesports have the bottle, if they have the strats to hold down CT side against VP, who we know that they've played this map a lot. We know that they have a lot of strats. We know that they will expose weaknesses. So it's going to come down to this. This half means everything, and we're in a great position as well. This Foundations on the 3rd map could not be any closer. And who knows, maybe we'll have another overtime to cast as well.
Well, I'm sure we will. Pistol round coming out here. Various people have stepped up on these pistol rounds. Next, in particular, for Mousesports, and it was Bialy that aced on Mirage, I believe, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So definitely those are players to look out for on this pistol round. Coming down that boiler room is VP. They will spot Dennis. At the end of it, he's going to fall back, though, and try to just keep that long sight line with the USP. And the USP can really dominate on this map on pistol rounds, that's for sure.
Mouz Sports will desperately want to pick up the pistol rounds. They can put themselves in good shape here to get some early rounds on the board. And here comes the smokes over on towards B, and the flashbangs as well, trying to bait out potentially the CTs. It's going to be Passion who's going around the back, but Dennis, as you called, the USP could definitely come good here for the CTs, and that's what's going to happen. The bomb is moving on to the side. It will be planted as well from Bialy, but now Dennis is trying to connect the dots and transition into more frags. Has peaks, he gets taken down. The bomb's still ticking, but it's a 3-on-5. This is going to be a very difficult site for Virtus.Pro to hold on to, especially considering that they've been forced back here from the CT, so we're going to go for that defuse very shortly. But Bialy goes for the re-peek and gets himself to frag. Another Molotov comes down, bouncing off the wall. It's all on Bialy, and he's been dropped. Mouz Sports should be getting this bomb defused, though Molotov's landing on it over and over again.
Yeah, they nearly did it with those Molotovs. If there wasn't a kit, that would have easily been VPs just because they decided to invest in that fire to close down the defuse. So we pistol around there for Mouz Sports. That'll get them, you know, right back on the train again, for lack of a better phrase. You're on train. It's their first round after giving up 5 to VP in the end of that first half.
So close yet so far for VP, but they are going to bounce back with the force fire because of that bomb plant. And also taking a leaf out of Mouz Sports' book, because it's exactly what happened when Virtus.Pro were on CT side, right? They conceded the bomb plant, they got the defuse, and then got B alongside Mouz decide for the Tech 9 force. They win the round, and the rest is history. So maybe Virtus.Pro can rinse and repeat from that history themselves and try and get this back in their favor.
Looks like they once more want to go for this inner tank. They're not going about it too quickly. They've been kind of, you know, loaded up in that boiler room, ready to just explode. And here the smokes go out. I think it was, yeah, maybe just a perfect smoke. I thought maybe a little far where Spitty could stand in front of it, but no, not the case. Let's see, Bialy and Pasha are watching that flank. They're daring somebody to climb up that ladder. The other ones are ready to explode out. Only one player right now, like really close. That's Spitty. He's in a good spot, again, behind that train. You know, very few things on this map are spammable, but look at all the set smokes, flashes, Molotovs, everything. I mean, VP know what they're doing when it comes to set takes on this map, and this isn't eco, you know, trying just to get the bomb down, but Bialy finding that entry, bringing down Spitty, all 5 alive and on the site. Grenade for Bialy going to bring down Dennis, and it's a 4-on-3 here with the bomb down. Rifles, though, coming in for Mouz Sports. Oh, getting close to those pistols, and that's not where you want to be against a pistol. It's so dangerous. Christian trying to do what he can with that scout up on the train, though, completely exposed. VP will take it. Just being forceful here. And what a round 17 from VP. That's a round to study from them.
A completely different style on T side of train as well. Mouz Sports were very slow, they were methodical, they pretty much bank 100% on their picking potential, the likes of Nex just rushing in and getting headshots, and Chris J as well. Virtus.Pro, much more set plays as we expected to see. That was beautiful smoke screen on the site. No one can see anything. They just rush in with the pistols and they get the better of Mouz Sports well and truly. So that's something that we're probably going to see repeated a bunch more times as well, and it's all down to Mouz now to try and figure out how to retaliate against that push.
We're taking some early damage here. Chris J going for that scout. He's pushed out Ivy right now. Connects onto Pasha. You can see that Snacks Bialy setting up for the smokes. Pasha kind of watching. They're back at Ivy, which is why he's there in the first place. And we'll even throw one of his smokes just to ensure his safe retreat. Next, though, does find a kill. That was into T middle. He almost gets another. Lights up Bialy. Brings it down to 29 HP there. Chris J with the scout, just trying to clean up anybody he can. He knows there's a few guys that are low out there on the battlefield. He's got a player above him. Oh, he finds Bialy dropping down into that log alley between the trains and Old Hell. Pasha trying to get back into the safety of that ladder room, but he cannot do it. Back-to-back 4 spies here and upset rounds. That beautiful one in that set strat from VP in round 17, and here in round 18, Mouz Sports just locking it down. Early scout damage from Chris J paying off. A quick pistol work, aggressive there by Nex.
Also like to just add there that Spitty got a knife kill. So you got a bunch of money in his back pocket that allows him to rebuy with the Kevlar and also the grenades. So pretty massive for Mouse Sports. Now Virtus.Pro are on the force buy. Again, it's that economic chicken that we're talking about before. Who's going to be the first team to back down and finally tap out and go for that full-on eco? If VP lose this round, I'm pretty sure it will be them. But the way they've been playing with these set smokes on B, it looks like they're going to go for it again.
Could be the bread and butter for them, executing with these smokes. Towards inside, good Molotovs as well to keep people off of the middle of that bomb train, because that could be such a strong position for the CTs. He's in there on the back of the fuel tanker. Dennis and Z playing the quick rotator to outside. And even Nex and Heaven just a quick drop in, a skip away from getting back in on that rotation. Chris J is your Ivy player, and Gomb kind of just spotting outside with the smoke at the ready. VPBO at this point, you know, they could throw those set things and fake it right down ladder. Like, they've got Mouse Sports kind of conditioned now.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. And it's something, if they don't do it this round, they probably will in the future. Last time we saw Pasha rotating back towards ladder.
Yeah, they're faking it.
Yeah, and this time they're going to be stacking 2. The problem is, though, they've got 25 seconds. They're pushing up through. I like this tactic a lot, actually. They're keeping the CTs guessing. They're assuming that the force is onto the site, but meanwhile, the rest of the terrorists are going through onto A. The issue is that they've lost a player, they've given away their lives, and the tactic, although it was really entertaining to watch, is not effective. Mouse Sports shut it down, and VP surely going to be finally ecoing for the first time on their T side.
Yeah, good effort, but unfortunately, Mouse Sports kind of just, you know, living up to the reputation of what we expect of them, just hitting the shots, and they shut down the fake, and they did still have one player outside who found them and actually did drop the bomb like right away. And you mentioned the clock was getting so low, they could have even ran out of time. Pasha, though, pushing out Ivy, everybody there except for Snacks, who came out from T-middle, kind of hiding in that smoke right now. He's in a pretty good lurk spot. And they try to go around those back halls into CT spawn, maybe down the stairs to wrap inside. The good old around the world here on train. But no, they'll be stopped in their tracks. Taz picked up an A1S, but whether he saw him or was just spamming over that little drawer there, he connects with the head of Taz. 12-8 right now, and the closest half we've had. But Mouse Sports already, right? 4 rounds was all we saw on one half. And they've already matched it this early on, getting rounds here in the second half. It is CT-sided, but the way the series has gone, I mean, wasn't out of the question that VP would have just started winning and not looked back.
No, the way these 2 best of 3s over the last 2 days have gone, you can pretty much put all of the norms, all of the standard things you'd expect from these maps to rest, because anything is possible when VP and Mouse play each other, as we've seen. So now it's going to be another force onto the site. These are some good entry franks that Virtus.Pro are getting, but again, they find themselves a player behind. Neo on 20% of his hit points remaining. There's Taz, but Neo has been traded out. He was vulnerable, he was weak, and he's died. And now Taz in a one-on-one against Chris J. This could be a huge round for Titan. No, Virtus.Pro to pick up. And Taz will be getting the headshot onto Chris J. I just got completely confused there. We've casted Titan so many times as well.
Silence for the fallen.
Yeah. Rip in peace. Gone but never forgotten.
So yeah, Taz able to stand tall there and bring that round back from the brink. That was 3 in a row to Mouse Sports on that CT side until VP finally answered. Let's see what they've got in their bag of tricks. Well, something in the bag will include a MAC-10 from Snacks. So we'll see what he can do with that. He tries to push down the alleyway here. Gob is completely blind, but Snacks is still going to be brought down. And that's gotta hurt. That'll be actually 4 on 5. Yeah, no trade had come out. So now trying to just go quick towards inner. They drop that smoke. Neo will push. Oh no, decides not to push through it. He will pull back. Bomb is onto the back of the site and going down. So Taz will find the plant here. 4 on 4 right now. It has evened up as Tasha hits that op shot. And another.
Well, it's important that VP keep this going. I mean, that was huge from Taz the last round. But if they lose this, then it's pretty much for nothing, because then Mouse Sports break the deadlock once more. They are a player behind, but you can see that Chris J is trying to peek from lockers. Spitty with the headshot, and the second as well onto Pasha. But again, we're going to see this Molotov. I think it bounced off the side of the train, so it's not even on the site. But there's not enough time potentially to defuse this bomb. And VP will win the round regardless, but they lost all 5 weapons in the process. So how is that going to look economically speaking? They should be okay.
A little
But they are
tight on
lacking
3 of their
grenades.
players.
They've only got 3 nades, so that may stop them from going for that set play on B again.
Could really stop them from most of the set plays. They do have a Molotov here. 3 smokes is usually what's involved if you want to throw out of the white halls onto the back of that outside bomb train just to get the bomb down. But that's generally just to get the bomb down. It's hard to get back to post-plant positions from that. And, well, they are setting up at the top of white halls, kind of looking down towards boiler, of course. You don't want to get pushed up. CTs generally will throw a smoke and play aggressive. We saw Envious do that a lot, almost every single round up against Cloud9 when they were on the CT side. Just get a player up in that boiler room, cut off the map from the terrorists. No such play, really, by VP. Or Mouz, excuse me. VP, though, relying on the entries. 1 smoke, out upper there. And they will hit it. They bring down Spitty, and they've got a 5-on-4 post plant here. Mouseboard playing retake.
I was curious if this would even work after they were so low on grenades, but fair play to Virtus.Pro, they've made it work. And only with 2 casualties in this round. So that's a very clean plant. And then just retaliation from Virtus.Pro after a pretty messy last one. So fair play to VP. They're going to bring this back to 11-12. Game is well and truly on, but because Mouz have saved up 4 weapons, they're going to be able to force up another one, and we will be back into a even playing field once more.
Yeah, we'll see Spitty. He'll be the only one on a pistol armor and some nades, but everyone else is going to have, FAMAS rifles, full nades, and it looks like in the past it's been VP that have been calling these tactical timeouts, and it will seem here with Mousesports, deciding to save, and I believe that was the right call for V5. They've got a shot here in round 24, and they really want to talk about this. So they will take that tactical pause.
It's the right call. Definitely, because things are getting too close for comfort now. And they need to figure out how to repel the B attack, because that really has been the difference maker for VP. And they're going to keep going back to it if Mousesports can't deal with it as well. I'm pretty sure that somebody from Mousesports will drop a FAMAS to Spitty so he can buy up and get grenades and such. So they should
they
have...
could do that as well.
Yeah, they should have 5 assault rifles coming through into this next round. But again, it's the same issue. If they lose this, then they're really in dire straits, and we're getting to the nitty-gritty end of this 3rd map now, where each round is so vitally important. So Mousesports, they have to rack their brains together and decide what's going on. They do drop the FAMAS, so it is going to be a full assault rifle round from Mousesports, albeit with 3 FAMASes. And I'm trying to think of how they could bridge the gap on B. Maybe push somebody up aggressive and try and catch
that
VP as they're throwing the smokes
the
out.
obvious
Because
change up, I think.
there's 5-6 seconds where they're very vulnerable to being aggressed on. When they all have their smokes out and they're throwing them one after the other, they're pinging them out. So if you get somebody up round upper and just come around the left there, you can probably get a couple of kills. But then again, there's that, on the flip side, if you commit a couple players to dealing with that and then Virtus.Pro go A, you're probably only going to have 1 or 2 defenders on A and they can just overrun you. So it's a really difficult, fine line. It's like this balancing act that God B has to come up with right now.
You can also try to do some timed aggression elsewhere on the map, peeking out at Ivy as a CT. And you could maybe find players setting up smokes on the dumpster, like when Chris J got some early scout damage on Sapasha a couple rounds ago. Of course, there you run the risk of possibly running into the whole team. Sometimes terrorists will just barrel down Ivy. And if you're going to go aggressive at one portion of the map, of course your defenses are going to be thinned a little bit elsewhere. So you better hope that it pays off and you find those kills and at least get the trade. But the trades, if you go for the aggression and just get a trade as a CT, that does still in the end work out better for the terrorists.
They're really taking a long time over this mouse course. You can understand why as well. As if you guys have just joined us, this is the 3rd map in this best of 3 lower brackets matchup. The loser of this will be knocked out of the tournament. The winner will progress through to tomorrow's semi-final. So this is a huge match. These teams have now played 6 maps with one another over the last 2 days. 2 best of 3s. 5 maps, pardon me. And this is going to be... I have to feel this is going to go right down to the wire, Helium. I don't think either team is going to just steamroll ahead. This is what I was looking for from Dennis. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Chris J as well, picking out Ivy, and he'll find Bialy, having difficulty bringing it home, but he will be able to retreat out. So Chris J's aggression towards Ivy pays off, and he did it by himself too. No buddy system there. Dennis pushed up, but now that they've got the man advantage, he makes the smart call to pull right back in, and they will just go for their standard setups and let VP kind of sweat it out here. Take it slow 4v5. Oh, Nex will have that FAMAS frag. 5-on-3 right now. Nex gonna get another one from inside that bomb train right in between. He's gonna go right back up, peek around the other side, ring around the radiation. But look at that, VP with 3, now 4 kills just like that. Taz pulls into 3K, and now it's 1v1. Taz has actually already clutched a few times on this map. He has not yet planted the bomb. He's got a ton of time to do it. He'll try to pull that fake, and Dennis will peek out! And he kind of just starts spraying the corner. He might have seen his feet from under the train.
I think he did, yeah. I think he was very keen Hawkeye on underneath the train, making sure he could get any additional information, and a valiant attempt from Taz, really pulling it back. But, you know, God be again, take a bow. His decision-making has been fantastic, and whatever he's saying on their comms right now is paying off, because I said they need to make these amendments, they need to push aggressively and get Virtus.Pro as they hide and wait. That's what they did with Chris J, and they end up winning the round, albeit a bit closer than I'm sure they wanted to. But that is going to force Taz onto a Tech 9, and they have a Galil in play. But that's maybe all they need. Snacks opens up in this round with the frag onto Spiddy, and Virtus.Pro are just diving onto B site. The bomb will be planted, and now these smokes making it very difficult for Mouz to retake.
Yeah, they've got the nades to delay. Can they get to the post-plant positions, though? You still have Taz kind of pushed up. The Scar 20 from Chris J, maybe not the most useful on the retake, but Taz finally falls. He was at a more aggressive player from VP. Now just all alone, it's going to be Pasha, who has already pushed up to Z. He's going to get 3 kills now with that. Galil again, another 1v1. Dennis is on the bomb, 2, 1 second, and he gets the defuse. Pasha brings it down, finds the 4K, but Mouse Sports, man, just somehow winning these last 2 rounds down to the wire. Both teams have shown they can win in this half. VP has broken this round.
And even though it's 14-11, which looks like the Mouse Sports are starting to take off with this map, the last 2 rounds have been 1v1s. That Mouse Sports have just about, by the skin of their teeth, won. So VP back to another force. They don't want to eco this and give Mouse Sports 4 match points.
It's really even.
This is effectively a 2-for-1 round. And Chris J opens up with 2 5-7 frags.
Yeah.
He gets taken down, but job certainly done from his perspective. Now he just has to hope that the rest of his team are going to come together and lock out the polls. 3 players left for VP, and they are lurking. They are not giving away too much right now, and they have a minute to play with. So there's no reason for them to rush into any mistakes. They have 3 smokes still at their disposal, 2 Molotovs, 2 flashbangs. If they use these to perfection, they have every chance at bursting onto the A site, which looks to be where they want to force onto.
Honestly, this round from the start was very even. There was only, like, I think maybe even less than $1,000 in equipment value difference between the 2 teams, and that's just how hard it is on the CT side when you win, you know, with 1 and then 0 surviving like that. But Chris J, man, stepping up, 5-7 J. Next, with that FAMAS, Bialy over that train will find 1. And only 2 kills. The bomb will go down, so some more money coming in, but Mouse Sports on to match point. That will guarantee at least overtime. And you touched on the 2-for-1. That's their 3rd loss in a row with bomb money coming in. That should give VP a decent shot here. They can get AKs no nades, or Galil nades, or Tech 9 with full nades. Those are kind of the options to them. Neo will go Galil, smoke, AK, smoking grenade for Bialy. And their tournament life. Now the most important round for both of these teams of the tournament so far. This could be the last one for us.
Mouse Sports, they're on the brink of causing an upset here. Of knocking VP out of the tournament. And just catapulting themselves into the semi-finals. Chris J with the Orblux for a second, but misses it onto Bialy.
Oh, God.
There's Snacks, but he gets traded out with Taz, so 3-on-3. Mouse Sports do have the economy to afford this into the next round. Virtus.Pro have a need to finish this one off fairly comfortably, and there is Neo to do just that. The experience surely going to pay out dividends. There's the NX frag from Snacks. It's all onto Dennis. He's coming down pop. The bomb's actually dropped in a precarious position. This could play into Dennis's favor. He's gone for the flashbang out. He's dropped to 5 HP, but drops the Molotov as well, so that's going to keep VP off the bomb just for now, because Bialy's got 10 HP, so he can't jump onto the bomb. But there we go, Snacks on top of the blue train will take us into 12-15.
And Mousesports has to save, too. They'll be able to buy up a little bit on some of the players that are richer. You'll see, you know, Dennis going for 5-7 armor. Same thing for Gob. It'll make for a pretty tight fiscal round 29 for Mousesports. VP would like to get this one, though. If they can. They need to play careful, man. They got to keep this, you know, some strict Counter-Strike going down. We've seen the 5-7 work for Mousesports. It's terrifying. They would hate to lose this match on an eco. But here they go. Dennis down to 5 HP already. He's able to retreat out of lower. They try to get aggressive towards those inner halls where VP have spent a lot of their time. But here they go towards middle and a pronged attack with people coming out Ivy. That's Bialy out Ivy. He'll find Gob right in the backside. Now just Dennis 5 HP. Flawless round. Team ace for VP.
Yeah, somewhat expected though with the eco from Mousesports. So now with the buy-in, this could be where things start to get interesting. The plot may very well, as they say, thicken. Chris J does not have an AWP. That is a slight saving grace for Virtus.Pro. Oh, he does actually have an AWP. It was bought for him, so beg my pardon. But that does mean that they're not going to have that many grenades to play with and no defuse kits. So it may come down to raw fragging from Mousesports. And are they going to play aggressively as a result? Yes, they are. Chris J pushing up uppers. He wants to peek in towards Ivy, and he gets the frag onto Neo, which is massive for him and the rest of Mousesports. Because it means they can't be setting up for those pesky smokes. But there's Gobi. He gets dropped straight afterwards from Virtus.Pro. That's a pretty huge trade for them. And again, there's lots of time to play with, and Mousesports have to keep themselves isolated from one another. It's like two teams of two, but Nex is going to get
Nex.
2 frags, and it's so apt that it's him that could potentially put Mousesports into the semi-finals. He's consistently been their best player in this tournament by a long shot. That Molotov could very well force off Nex from the site, but it's a 4-on-2, and Dennis is coming round through T-Connector.
Bomb is going to be faked by Taz, jumping up. He baits it out. He'll take the head off of Nex. Pasha brings down Spitty. Now it's Dennis and Chris J here. There's another from Osfrag from Dennis. Chris J moving in from Z. He'll go down to Taz. Taz, he has been forced to clutch so many times here on train. And once again, he'll go up into CT heaven, occupied by the terrorist right now. Dennis moving back. He will be sprayed down. That'll be another one there. 14-15 within one. We've gone full regulation. Well, for the second time, Mirage nearly got to full 30 rounds. And Mousesports' money is broken. VP look like they have done it to get it into another overtime between these two teams.
I don't know if you caught that, but Chris J missed a real simple shot from his own high caliber on Taz. He missed a sitter of a shot which could have ended this match for Mousesports, and Taz ends up getting the 1v2 clutch. So I don't know if that's going to be playing against him, because he is the first to fall here in the 30th round. And once more, we could be going to overtime, barring a huge, monumental, Herculean throw from Virtus.Pro in this round. Or Dennis just performing. No, he doesn't. He had a good opportunity to maybe get a frag or two. But it's Next and God B once again answering the call. Down their fallen comrades. Spitty with a P250 is connecting some shots on towards Taz, but it's not enough. And VP do take us to overtime once more against Mousesports.
Got a little nerve-wracking there when he saw Mousesports get 3 kills real quick. It was even for a moment. We're like, well, we've been down this road before between these two teams. Like you've mentioned, we've had so many rounds. There have been some mistakes, but no, VP will hold strong right there. Neo with 24 frags, Taz 22, 21 for Bialy, 24 for Pasha. Everyone's so neck and neck. Snack's a little down there, but given how rough his first half was to end on 16 frags, not too bad. Looking over at Mousesports, 20, 25, 24 for Gob, Nex, and Dennis. Chris J, you know, didn't have the best performance, right? It was the Next J show for a while for Mousesports, but Chris J, like you said, he missed a shot in a round that could have been it for them. Only 15 kills here. And Spitty down there at 13. But what a match so far. What a series. 2 days in a row from both of these teams. VP, you know, playing better today, obviously. We'd already seen them in a match earlier. Mousesports, though, proving that yesterday was not a fluke.
Oh, definitely. They've shown themselves as an extremely strong team. The doubters are the likes of Chris J, people saying that he's just an onliner and he can't perform at LAN. Fair enough, he didn't do great in this map, but overall, him and Nex, I would say, the two standout players. But he's had his moments as well. Dennis has had some good entry frags. I'm going back to Cobblestone the first day when we casted. Dennis did some crazy stuff in overtime on Cobblestone between these two teams. But I think, Mouse Sports are here to stay. That being said, Virtus.Pro, they've also played pretty decently, but I think out of these two teams, they're definitely going to be the more disappointed. Because it's Train. We're expecting them to just take this down, like, pretty comfortably. Remember, they also won Dust 2, which was Mouse Sports' choice of map, then went on to Mirage, and we're both saying this is going to go 2-0, right?
Yeah.
No, Mouse Sports win Dust 2, Mirage, sorry, and here we are.
Looking at the maps at large, we had mentioned that it looked like a nice draft of maps that VP were able to get themselves, leaving Train in the pool. It's obviously become that third map, being able to get the Mirage pick for themselves. Dust 2, you were worried about a little bit, but they warmed up on Dust 2 against Cloud9. Had a good performance, of course, to be able to bring that back. And, well, it was close all the way through, but actually when you got to OT, VP 4 rounds in a row in OT, and that was it. No Sports didn't have an answer in that OT. Unlike yesterday with the double OT on Combo, where it was Mouse Sports that took it against VP. And here, actually taking us a while, actually, for some reason, to push on over. This is the longest 1 second of my life.
I guess maybe the players just need a bit of a respite.
Yeah, I guess they need to type
I
down
don't
ready.
blame them.
I thought it would have went back into warm-up, but I guess not.
Because they played a lot of CS over the last couple of days, but especially these two teams, what's this, their second or third overtime just against each other?
And Mouz had a pretty grueling series against Envious just
So
today as well.
They will be exhausted. Like, both these teams, they will be mentally fatigued at this point. So I definitely don't blame them for taking this break. Man, you couldn't have asked for a more fitting conclusion to this best of 3, though. Like, overtime, still anybody's map. You look at the score as well, there's nobody that's particularly outshining anyone else in terms of, like, raw frags. No one's necessarily underperforming to an alarming level either. Just very, very even.
And I love the differences that we saw from the T sides. I mean, both T sides taking 8 rounds, obviously, to get us here into overtime. But you just had sort of the pick and roll, or really in Train's case, like the pick and go type of strategy for Mouse Sports, relying on their raw aim. Only like one time did they throw some stuff in her and fake it to the outside bomb site. But VP came out just with some beautiful set strategies towards inner. We saw them employ that 2 or 3 times. When it came to outside, they did kind of just rely a little bit more on opening it up with the ops. And Neo has just been on point, man. He's been my player to watch for VP over these last 2 days. Absolutely.
I think some key aspects to take into account now in overtime. For Mouse Sports on CT side, they have to do something to stop those set pieces onto B. They were doing it towards the end, but
Scar 20, Jay.
Maybe Scar 20. I mean, Scar 20 is not a terrible map on. Not a terrible map, but not a terrible weapon on Train. So you maybe could get away with using that up on upper towards the B site. They have to stop that somehow. They were doing it through raw aggression, coming through Ivy and also upper, just getting around the sides. Dennis and Chris J were doing it a bunch. But if VP kind of read this, you may see them start to utilize long more, go down alleyway towards the behind the trains, get around the back of the CTs and really cause them problems. They were doing it a couple times towards the end. So I'll be interested to see how Mouse Sports bounce back as soon as we get into the overtime. And on the other side, VP was struggling on their CT side purely just from entry frags. There was no huge elaborate strats that were being thrown down from Mouse Sports. It was just like, we're better at entry fragging right now. We're going to push out as a 5-man unit, and we're just going to wreck VP. So maybe some defensive smokes and Molotovs are required from the poles, especially on A side. E-Box was used over and over again from Mouse Sports.
Chris J hit plenty of shots there from E-Box, and then everyone starts, putting their focus onto the electrical box. And I recall a couple rounds where Gob was then just posted up, peeking out of ladder, and he got a few more. So we'll see what they can do. And Taz, I think, like, honorable mention to Taz. How many times did he have to clutch? And he pulled it off, I think,
like 3 or 4
almost
times
every
he clutched.
single time.
Yeah. There's only one time that's springing to mind that he didn't manage to get the clutch.
Yeah, that was when I think his feet responded by Dennis between Z and the end of that bomb train.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But he did clutch 3 or 4 times. So, and that's just on Train. He clutched a couple on Dust 2 as well. So he's been a huge playmaker. He's been one
Definitely
of those
proving
guys.
his worth since he's come under some criticism from
Yeah.
community.
Well, I feel like the community, and I'm probably going to get hate for this, but
Yeah,
whatever.
you probably will.
Probably will. Whatever I say,
Go
I'll get
for
hate.
it.
I feel like the community is very fickle when it comes to players. Like, a player can perform fantastically
Shocker.
one week, they're like the god. Next week, they play kind of bad, they're trash, remove them. So, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt.
They're very hot and cold, the community opinion.
It's true. It's true. I think you just got to give a player a bit of a break from time to time. There's a reason why VP have won a lot of matches, and they've been around the block a lot of times, because they've stuck together.
Indeed. All right, here we go. Starting it off right away. There will be Mouse Sports on that CT side. It's 3-round halves, 6 rounds per overtime, so you'll need 4. Makes the magic number 19. You start with 10 grand. So anyone that's not familiar with CSGO overtime, this is what Gfinity will employ, because there are a couple different rule sets. So here we go. Another overtime. And there's been so many in this tournament. I would hope everyone be familiar with it by now.
I lost count of how many overtimes we've had in total.
Yeah,
Between these two, it's been 3 times, I believe. So, yeah, it's been Cobblestone, Dust, and now Train. We've had overtimes, and this is what I'm talking about. You can see that Virtus.Pro are going for a different tactic on T side. They're not stacking B, they're not looking for the set play, they're going down long, and the bomb has been dropped long, which indicates it's more than likely going to be an A play, and they've got the opening pick onto Chris J, with the AWP shot between the eyes. Pasha with a second frag as well, lighting this round up for VP. And now they're looking to move into the exploited area. But look at Nex. He's biding his time. He's just waiting to get them to line up so we can knock them down here. But he could very well walk into trouble himself. That Molotov is going to force VP's hand to rush past, and he gets the first and the second frag
Beautiful
as well.
from Nex.
Looking for a third, and he connects that. Nex just exploding once more, and Mouz have suddenly got the player advantage.
That patience from Nex paying off. He lets one run by, gets one, wins another battle, tries as another with a quick re-peek. But will they still be able to close it out? Neo fighting back, 12 HP. You got a total of 17 between the two VP players. Oh, but the clock clicking down, and Spitty will hold on. He'll keep that op too. Ops, even in OT with 10 grand, do start getting expensive, so they could preserve that, give Chris J another opportunity here. And Mouse Sports with that first round. What a play from Nex.
That was all Nex. And the thing is, not only did he get 3 frags, but he dropped the bomb in a horrible place from VP, and they couldn't plant the bomb. So he single-handedly won that round. 28 for 22. Unbelievable. And I was looking like VP had it. It was Pasha, I believe, that got the 2 entries with the AWP, right? He sniped Chris J and then somebody else. Like, from there you're thinking, VP have this in the bag. There's no way this can slip out their hands once more.
We see VP lining up some smokes. Actually, just Neo for now. I think someone... Excuse me. Someone else is going to join him and throw some more. This should go all the way back into the Ivy tunnel behind that green train. The one that Neo's about to throw. Should just be a full left click. For the type of throw. Looks like Beyondly's going to pull one out as well. No? So Neo going to throw that, and that'll be kind of feigning an outside attack since the smoke's going to bloom. Probably make that player at Ivy panic a little bit. They're going to try to hit enter. Or they actually are playing 2 straight into the site. Dennis there behind that bomb train, and supporting from far back on the fuel tanker is Spitty. And here they go, trying to rush in right now. Dennis is not blind. Oh my gosh, the VP players are. Snacks makes it out, but he's alone. He'll drop a Molotov. Oh, and he will convert on a Taz, though. He'll kill Snacks. Snacks was so low. And Dennis, that kill is finished for him. Spitty, though, now jumping over to that upper catwalk, will hit one op shot, just missing a second as everyone kind of gets blind. But Chris J on the rotation over. He'll find one with that A1S. Neo stuck in upper, and let's... Oh my gosh, they're running out of time again! Chris J finding the kill on Pasha. They will frag out in the end. Mouse Sports winning 2 in a row, keeping 4 players up here. But VP, you know, even if it did become kind of ring around the bomb site, probably would have run out of time again. They're waiting a long time to execute on these rounds.
And therein lays the issue, and often the downfall of T-side on train. On B, there's such bottleneck areas that you're pushing down like 3 or 4 people. The chances are inevitable that eventually you are going to get a team kill. I think it was Snacks that was the player that got the team kill on him. And from there on in, it was pretty easy for Mouse Sports. You just hold your position, and like VP almost choked themselves. So already in this round, they've lost the first player. And that would put a lot of pressure onto Virtus.Pro going through onto the CT side that they did struggle on against Mouse Sports. So this is a crucial round for me. I think VP have to win this. I can't see them holding on to 3 CT rounds consecutively.
Will be tough. Gob stepping up on this round. He's found 2 now. He shut down Ivy, and the one man who got through, that was Bialy there. He was kind of on the back lines, but no longer. Pasha, though, trying to bring it back. He'll win out the battle against Chris J. He'll find Nex as well. He's brought down two of the most key players for Mouse Sports right now. Brought it back to a 3-on-3. Spitty, oh, with that flash. Pasha with another one. 3K on the round for him and possibility for more. 3v2 right now. Looks like VP might find one. And a 2-1 split in OT is about what you'd expect on Train in favor of the CTs. Let's see if Gob and Spitty, though, can't upset VP here on this round. Has with a nice long-range one onto Gob. That'll be Spitty all alone. Might as well go for it. He'll hit one shot, nearly a second there, peeking out with that P250, and Taz closes it out with 2. Finishes what Pasha started. Solid round from VP, and that's the first half of OT.
That was massive for Virtus.Pro because it gives them a little bit of breathing room. They no longer have to save every single round. Up against Mouse, they're allowed one mistake. And on the flip side, they could even just straight out win. I mean, psychologically speaking, if you go 3-0 behind in overtime, you know best case scenario is just another draw. It's just another overtime. Now they know if they win out straight up, they can just take this map, they can take this best of 3, and they can knock out Mouse Sports. So that's how hugely important that last round actually was. But let's see if Mouse Sports can start things off as they left off on their T side. It doesn't look likely. Snacks with the M4 is going to put Nex down in his place. And that's one of the talisman for Mouse Sports that will find himself momentarily silenced here in the 4th round of overtime. Here comes the E-box push again. We called this before as being a place they like to run, but Neo with the double.
Chris J.
And Chris J answers back with 2 of his own, but he's out in the open in no man's land. And he has been picked off, and Taz seals it up nicely for VP, 17-17.
Gob had a nice play. Good presence of mind there, 1v3. He kind of saw one player. He actually saw all 3 of them and tried to figure out a way to you kill them. Honestly, if he had a silenced Colt, there was maybe a possibility, but as soon as he shot that AK, everybody just turned alert. It was like being spotted in Metal Gear Solid, you know? Like, Ree! Everybody
Exclamation
looking at
points.
him. Yeah, they saw him. So VP will tie it right up, and let's not forget, well, Mouse Sports, 8-7, great half for them. It was pretty much rendered ineffective, though, their T side by the end of the first half, and it looks like VP remember how they were stopping it.
Yeah, it's critical that they made sure they locked down E-box, and I'm glad for VP that they did. Mouse Sports now, they're reverting back to their tried and tested strats, and that is very slow, methodical play. Not giving anything away, leaving it till about 20-25 seconds to push, or at least that's what they were doing in regulation time. But you can see from the positions of Virtus.Pro that very well may play into the Poles' favor because they've set up pretty strong here on the A site. They're playing defensive roles themselves with the AWP. Here comes the flashes. Another flash down popped up that could catch the CT off guard. It's going to be Neo, and he's been picked off. Here comes the T connector push as well. The smokes will be accompanying the Germans, plus the Dutchman, and Godby is going to fall Pioli with 2 kills again, but he's been dropped in retaliation. A 3-on-2 now as Dennis opens up, and suddenly VP are in all sorts of trouble.
Great shot from Snacks and some unfortunate RNG from Pasha. He hit the shot perfectly, but it was just a leg or maybe passed through something. Didn't quite finish off his target. Dennis with a nice 3K, and I don't even know how he was so quick to clear out that ladder room when he did it. And now the bomb finally going down next to planted. Snacks, I don't know if he's got the information that they are so low. He's going to go roaming around with the op out. Now he'll switch it up. It could be 2 shots to Dennis, depending on where he hits him. Next will die in 1, though. Oh, jumping. He's made noise now, and the no-scope will miss. Next finishes him. And Mouse Sports getting their first round here on T-side overtime. They're on match point right now, or will VP? Money not great on everybody since Snacks went for the ops a couple times. Will this be the last round, or will it be OT2 here on Train?
Oh, man. Well, there is enough economy for Virtus.Pro to work with. It's not like they're on a forced F57 or Mag7 or something like that. They do have full weapons, and they do have enough grenades and defuse kits to make a go of this. But Mouse Sports definitely in an advantageous position. There's no doubts about that. VP, all they can hope for is to win this round, take us into overtime number 2. And it's almost an identical setup as well for Mouse Sports. They're doing nothing different here. Maybe opting for B a tiny bit more. But again, it's the slow round that could potentially be the deadliest for VP.
Mouse Sports might be going. I'm sure they know the smokes as well. They'll throw out just 1. I think another one going lower. Yeah, so 2 smokes out to that inner bomb site here. They've been smoked themselves. Flashes raining in. Snacks and Taz both playing 1 low. I think 1 up on that train on inside. That's exactly what it is. Taz is upstairs. Still have a man lurking. Spitty, are they really hoping on him, like trying to pick up a frag? Change VP's mind about fortifying this inner bomb site? And another smoke is going to come out very late. They had to wait for VPs to dissipate. Snacks is watching upper. Taz watching lower. Dennis is going to go across there, but there is Snacks. Pasha shuts down Spitty. That was the lurker outside. Chris J, though, stepping up, peeking out, bringing down Taz. 3-on-3 on the post plant here. And all the players coming from Z Connector. Back of CT. Pasha will bring down Chris J with that op. Next and Gob now. Next, hitting the headshot onto Pasha. Gob with a good opportunity to bring down Neo, and he will do it. 22 HP, and he's caught in the open.
I'm a bit concerned as to why he tried to run away in broad daylight.
He got nervous, I think, and didn't quite know where that player was. Thought maybe he was being pushed.
I mean, I suppose it is kind of rolling the dice and just getting snake eyes because there's so many positions where Bialy could be coming from. Up until that point, he hadn't given his position away. It was Pasha that was raining in from long range, and Bialy just silent ninjaing up from behind, gets the defuse, and overtime number 2 is upon us. All even. Anyone's game. I don't even want to predict who I think is going to win this.
I think it's unpredictable, honestly. The only thing that's maybe worrying, I mean, I guess they got enough done. They found the one round on T side is that VP definitely remembered how to kind of shut down Mousesports and what they were all about on that T side. But the defense from Mouz looked good, so they can keep going 2-1 splits. They'll stay in overtime forever. I don't know what the deciding factor will be. Either the clean sweep on CT or picking up 2 rounds on the terrorist side and a half. It'll probably be it.
Oh, man. We've been casting a lot today.
We have.
We've been casting an awful lot today. Not that I'm complaining. It's been fantastic, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I'm seeing here. There's so much information to process. There's so much data to go through. I can't really necessarily highlight what I think was the determining factor there. Obviously, that last play, I'm surprised he decided to run away after the bomb plant. Just play the time, play the site, play, what you know, which is that there is a CT coming at you, and it's more likely going to be from CT spawn than it is from behind you. But other than that, the tactics-wise, I think it pretty much played out the way I was expecting. There's just very little to determine between these two teams, which again is highlighted in the kills. Everybody is around the same amount here.
One difference, though, Chris J has been as on point with that AWP, and we've seen some, especially as of late, some ridiculous op rounds from Pasha. Just hitting shots, 3Ks, 4Ks. They're basically out of nowhere. Neo as well has been locking it down with that AWP. They can go for a double op setup. Whereas I don't know if Mousesports really can, or if they'd even want to. So there's some differences definitely between the teams. And who's got the most? 31 for Pasha, 31 for Nex. They are the top fraggers of their teams. Biddy lagging a little bit behind with just 16 frags. Snacks the lowest there with 20. Snacks, though, still rebounding somewhat nicely after his miserable first half.
The crazy thing for me is like going over to CSGO Lounge, 73% of people voted for VP. Like, to me,
they didn't learn from yesterday. That's
insane. Like that, there's gonna be a lot of VP fans that are sweating right now. It's probably with Mouse as well. You probably have some massive returns if you bet on them.
Yeah.
It
seemed like the Titan fans figured it out because Dignitas was actually favored today in their secondary matchup, where it was like, I think only 35% odds to Dignitas on day one. But I mean, maybe that just goes to show that people realize how off a VP was. Even though Mousesports still played fantastic, and obviously with today's performance, they can compete, no doubt, with VP. But maybe more people having faith in VP and believing Taz, saying we had an off day and we'll do better tomorrow.
And just let's talk about the upsets a tiny bit, right? Coming into this tournament, we had the pleasure to cast both Dignitas yesterday and Mousesports yesterday and today. Dignitas beating Titan yesterday and today as well. So double upsets in that respect. Mousesports upsetting a lot of people. For me, off the performances that they've gone by, I think they've got a shout for like top 4 teams in this tournament. Like, I think they played way better than Cloud9 did. They played better than SK did. I'd say they played better in some aspects than Dignitas, but I think it's hard to say because Titan for me were very, very weak this tournament. So it's difficult to make that, you know, that comparison. But Mouse Sports they really have shown up to this tournament. And remember, they're a pretty new squad. Like, these guys have not been together for long at all.
They have played a crap load of games together, though, in the last couple months. I had to, like, blink a couple times to make sure HLTV was reporting it, that they had played so many games together over the last few months as becoming a new team. I think they've really just kind of, they hit, like, every single league, right?
Yeah, well, definitely in the CEVO league, where we've had the chance to cast them a bunch of times. Before this tournament started, a couple days before, they smashed Penta, absolutely obliterated them in a best of two. So I was thinking coming into this, I'd quietly fancy Mouse Sports to provide some upsets. I thought they may even be able to win the previous best of three as well against Envious. I kind of half-backed them. Didn't quite pay off as much as I was expecting, but again, it was an admirable performance. And if you're wondering why we're waffling on, guys, we're waiting for the teams to get ready. Clearly in the best of three, second overtime, in fact, third overtime if you count Dust 2. These guys are exhausted. They're drained. They just want to discuss what's going on right now and where they're going to be playing and what kind of strats they're going to be using. So we're just trying to fill in the time while we wait for the teams. You have no idea how long it's going to take before they're ready again. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, they say Chris J went to the toilet. I'm envious, honestly. It's been a long sit here into these double OTs, full regulations, of course. But I think I've got the data. I'm ready to reveal my findings. So over the last 3 months, Chris J and Gob B 103 maps together on this Mouse Sports lineup.
Jeez.
That's more than a game a day. And then next, Spitty and Dennis, all hanging in there with basically like an average of 70 maps for all three of them. And a couple of those were played with Capson, who's now over on Penta. Tixo, that Journeyman 1.6 player that came back for like a day, and then Nico and Legia, I can never say it right, had about 20 maps with them as well. So, new team, unproven on land, but they have been playing a crap load of CS together in these online tournaments and leagues.
We're about to see them play a little bit more here, Helium, as we are live into overtime number 2. Mouse Sports on T-side, Virtus.Pro on the CTs, and Pasha's the first to fall, pushing way too aggressively through long. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Mouse Sports have themselves a 2-player advantage, and really, that was more VP's mistakes than anything that Mouse did right.
The Ollie will bring down Gob. Next, and his squad of Mouse Sports with the man advantage, but just as I say it, 3 kills simultaneously across the map to a 2-on-1. Spitty, though, will get a double right there. He'll make it a 1-on-1, but will he expect Snacks to be up in CT Heaven in such a strong position? And no, he will not. Just walking out, thinking it was in the clear. VP will take the lead.
So again, another round where VP probably should have been dead and buried, but somehow, some way, clinch it with Snacks through the wall on a heavily tanked up Spitty. Mouse Sports back to the drawing board for them. After a long pause between the overtimes, have they came up with any new strats? Have they decided to try and run elsewhere? That was a long push, which we haven't seen them do, I don't think, a single time up until this point on the entirety of Train. But VP were more than a match for the task. And now Mouse Sports going back towards Ivy once more. Look at this play, though. Neo is just lurking below them. He's waiting for an opportunity. He will come up and frag them unless they go down beforehand. Definitely a player to watch in this round.
All right, 5-on-5, taking it slow. Mouse Sports about 40 seconds off the clock in this round. You've got Speedy and Neo close to each other over there in the ladder. We'll see one of them push up. Will one of them peer down? Speedy's still watching that flank, making sure no one comes through those far back white holes. Taz and Snacks locked up in inner. Neo is ready for a quick flank, so they will have to be very, very conscientious about watching it. Now next, that smoke will fade. He looks to go for the entry. Snacks, though, will shoot him down. Dennis now smoke out top. Gombi will get the entry. So he's done his job. Taz, though, still playing there in that site, in that open area. And wow, Taz going to get all 3 of them right there, turning that A1S into a 3-kill gun, and then Neo to close it out. Now Sports running into a wall there.
Now we find ourselves in a complete role reversal. Last time it was VP. We're desperate to win the last round of the first half of overtime, just to keep themselves in a somewhat positive position. And now it's Mouse Sports. If VP win this, they have to win all 3 of their CT rounds Otherwise, they are dead and buried at Gfinity. Summer split #1. Dennis taking the point here. Through pop, going to be trying to peek out to E-Box, but you can see there's 3 players from the CTs watching this position, including Pasha with an AWP. So I don't think they're going to get much joy out of this unless they go ahead and smoke first. And in doing so, they pretty much give the game away. So Mouz Sports, they're just taking every second they can. It looks like they're about to pull the trigger on this potential push. Meanwhile, the CTs have been drawn. 2 are still on B sites. If there's a time to strike, it's pretty much right here, right now, from Mouz Sports' perspective. But they're holding off a bit more. Here comes the push. They're going to be walking into the firing squad of Virtus.Pro, which is going to be coming down after. But Dennis gets the first kill onto Bialy, who probably should have done better. He sprayed down 2 players very low. Somehow, Mouz are coming out ahead of this scenario. God, B's the only T to fall thus far from Snax' M4. But that bomb has been planted, and the situation's just gone from bad to critical for Taz. He is the last player remaining. We've already seen him pull off a bunch of 1v2 clutches. It would have to go 2 better. He's already got the first, but Dennis and Nex are very high on HP, and he's already been spotted, and he gets executed down from Nex. And Mouz Sports just about cling on and get the 19th round on the board. Oh my goodness, this game's crazy.
So once again, we've got a case where it goes 2-1 in OT. Mouz Sports able to hold on. They do stop VP there from taking the clean sweep. Making any mistake in the second half of OT cost them their tournament life. I mean, any mistake at this point from either team will cost them the tournament life. It's lose or go home here. Second OT map 3, and the second time that these teams have played each other here on land over in England. Been quite a wild ride. And what a round there for Dennis. He comes up in some clutch situations, getting the 3K there on their march towards outside, and back yesterday on Cobble, cornered in a site, getting that lineup 3K to close out Cobble. Or was it to take it into OT? Either way, it was so much pressure on Dennis, and he just delivered.
It was for OT, yeah. It was the last round of regulation time. Back of A site, they lined him up. No one checked the site, though, which was a mistake from VP, but Dennis made the most of it. And maybe Mouz Sports are looking for another hero here. VP. We've already had double overtime. In fact, was it these guys that did double overtime on Cobblestone? I believe it was.
It was them and also Nip versus SK.
Yeah, that's right. It was 22-20 the last time this went to double overtime to Mouz Sports, if memory serves me correctly.
Correct.
On Cobblestone. And it's going to be Dennis and Chris J once again pushing up, getting the information. And Dennis, if he plays this one correctly, he could bag himself a hatful of frags. In actual fact, this could play off better for him because he has the advantage. He's up on uppers and no one's able to check that. They're running in, they're filtering into the site, and they're getting demolished from Mouz Sports. Spitty and Dennis are just getting cracked across the board. Dennis with another one. It's all on Pasha, and he must be wondering what the hell just happened to his team. Can he somehow pull off this ridiculous clutch? I don't think it's likely. He's got the time. He's got enough HP. He's got the grenades, but he's running out of HP now that Nex has put him down. And 20-20 is the scoreline.
Yeah, they ran into a blender right there on inside. Mouz Sports were holding fast, and actually, I don't know. This might be a technical issue. It doesn't seem like they'd want to pause it here after taking a round win, but maybe they had a situation like, hey, if we win this round, let's pause, try to get a set play. No, there it is. TeamSpeak problems. So Chris J coming in. Update, Jay. 2020 right now. 22, again, that magic number you're looking for, an OT number 2. And that's rough, man. They're kind of lucky they had a stalwart defense right there, because if you had your TS problems, communication and around that, maybe went close and you couldn't get the information across, Mouz Sports might have dodged a technical bullet right there.
Potentially did. Now they have to dust themselves down and come back at this 100%. Mouz Sports, after picking up that first round, we'd be feeling a bit more confident, I have to feel. They do have the top 2 fraggers on their side, one of which is Chris J. Sorry, not Chris J, Dennis and Nex. So I doubt that's going to mean a great deal to Mouz Sports, but if these guys can start to get their act together, this could quickly run out of VP's hands. Chris J with the AWP has got flashbang to his forehead. He can't see anything, and Neo's there to shut him down. Dennis returns fire, and now Virtus.Pro only have 1 player remaining, and it's Bialy, but not for long, so Mouz Sports They're getting the rounds that really matter and count. Now VP have to save this round to keep themselves in the game. This has just gone crazy.
Yeah, losing 2 in a row in OT, it's kind of rough. Even to the terrorist side, you'll see limited nades, so they will not be able to rely on, you know, after seeing those 2 rounds, they go, VP, just go for a set play. Like, do what you do best here on this map of Train, but they just don't have the economy to even do that now. Just a couple smokes here, and the CZ there on Pasha. And Pasha's been going so big for them. To see him limited down to the CZ, it's a little rough. Snacks, though, will find the opener on to next. That'll give them the man advantage. Gob pushing up towards that ladder room by those boxes. Chris J keeping in the back alleys by Old Bomb Train. 5-on-4 in favor of VP as they fight here to push this into third overtime. I think it will be the first triple OT if it happens here in Gfinity. Neo peeking out. He will go down. Dennis getting a frag as well. Quickly a 3-on-3, then 3-on-2 right there. Snacks now the last one up as Spitty hits the shot onto Taz. Into Snacks in a 1v3. And I've said it a couple times, 1vx's on Train are so hard. Well, he's going to get a bit of a freebie here as Gob is moonwalking back. Snacks will take him down. Just waited patiently for the easy shot. If he had shot 1 bullet and missed, it would have been a rough look for Snacks. You've got Chris J actually pushing out Ivy, going back towards T-spawn, trying to wrap around and come from middle, maybe even go the full distance and come back towards inside, because as we can see, Snacks is now coming out of CT spawn and going towards inner.
It's very difficult, as you say, to clutch out these rounds in 1v3s, 1v2s, but the fact that Snacks has the bomb is a huge, huge advantage for him. He's gone for the plant, bit of an unorthodox position. I don't think Spitty will expect. He's probably thinking it's back of sight. Yeah, he's looking towards the back of sight. He has no idea that Snacks is to his left-hand side behind the Train, but he's about to find out potentially, but he misses the shot. That could have been it. That could have been Mouz Sports eliminating Virtus.Pro. It still may happen. Snacks has been spotted. Here comes the Molotov. It's going to force him on a position, and Chris J gets the frag. They will get the defuse, and Mouz Sports knock out Virtus.Pro and get themselves into the semi-finals of the Gfinity Summer Split #1.